Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter the Master of Hobbits. Today, cracking some big old barrel-aged pastry stout that I got from Brewery, from one of the huge American releases they've had this year. There's been so many. It's crazy. The amount of American hype beers that's been coming to Europe is just nuts. So this is one of them from one of the previous releases. This is gone now. But beers like this are kind of treat beers, so I don't drink them too often, especially these days with kids and often being on my own. So, like, usually beers like this I would share with friends back in the day, not a problem. Tasting group, you go through a few. These days, it's rare that I crack them because, I'm on my own. So sometimes I'll open one for an evening, because my missus also doesn't like these big barrel-aged beers. It's just for me. She can complain about that. But, so it's just rare I crack them because I'm more team lower strength, team sessionable beers these days, with kids and work and everything. But I do really, really, really love getting a big old barrel-aged beer. And being away, in Japan for, 3 weeks, and I've been back now for 2 weeks. So I haven't had much stout in that time. I've only had a handful that I tried in Japan, and only a handful of those were like barrel-aged ones that were more modern and rich and awesome. Mainly from West Coast Brewing, actually, which was just outstanding. I have one of their beers, barrel-aged beers I got to bring home, which is really cool. It'll be fun to do a review. I tried it, really loved it. And what's cool about it is that it's aged in Japanese whiskey barrels. That's not something you see too often. But we're not drinking Japanese beer today. We're drinking beer from California. And this is from everywhere. And this is The Truth is But Perception, barrel-aged Imperial Stout, with an interesting looking black feather there on the label that kind of reminds me of the black fuzzy creatures in Spirited Away that lives in the castle and the bathhouse for some reason. But yeah, this is The Truth is But Perception. They call this a super stout, which is fun. So 13.3%. I've had only hoppy beers from everywhere, but they've been great. But a lot of people told me you should try their stouts if you can. They're pretty crazy. And then this one popped up in Europe alongside a barley wine that I have in the cellar. But this is listen to this, bourbon barrel-aged super stout made with Peruvian origin cacao nibs, jet black cocoa powder, peanuts, caramel, and flaky sea salt. And let me tell you, as soon as I popped this, I could instantly smell it in the room. So let's dive in and say thank you a ton to Brewery for the beer. Link for the shop is down below. They don't have this at the moment, but they actually still have, from the latest release, some Three Sons barrel-aged beers left, among a few others. So go on there. Also, the Bourbon County variants I got this time, there's still stuff around. So check them out. Link for the shop is down below. Let's try some big barrel-aged stout. The Truth is But Perception. Pouring this out was interesting. It was quite fizzy, actually. It shows a good amount of foam and whatnot. So rare you see that with these pastry beers, but it faded like this because of all the adjuncts. And you can see there's oils in the glass. It's lacing to the lips. But what's funny, because it was a fairly thick liquid, the bubbles that was coming up, like they were breaking the surface. It looked super weird. It was like the bubble came up, it was like because it was thick, it looked really different. I've never seen that before in a beer like this, and I can smell it already. And I could smell it also just pouring it. So let's just get our nose in here and see how this one is. Modern, heavy pastry stout. Oh wow, it's been a long time since I had a beer smelling like this. Like the stuff in Japan was mainly barrel-aged stouts. Some had adjuncts, but they were the base beers in barrel aging seemed very modern. One was a blueberry cheesecake thing that was quite modern, but otherwise it was like Mexican style, or just I think one Mexican style stout, and the rest was like just pure barrels, and maybe one was vanilla. It was not like this, which is just like adjunct town galore. I'm getting loads of salted caramel on it, and then there's so many adjuncts that the bourbon barrel aging is there, but it's like a little bit of a backdrop, like a back canvas. Also lots of chocolate, umami, soy sauce as well. I'm not sure about the peanuts. Maybe that's also, there's a roasty, toasty note. Maybe actually a generic nuttiness. But yeah, it's actually, interesting enough, although there's a lot of cocoa nibs and dark, was it pitch black cocoa powder or something? Jet black, yeah. The caramel and flaky sea salt is really what dominates to me. Almost like coconutty too. It smells like Anchorage blessed level of crazy adjuncts. It smells really good though, and 13.3%. Let's try this one. It smells nice. Man, I can't remember the last time I drank a beer of this caliber. Cheers. Thanks, Beardome, for the beer. Wow. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. It's surprisingly bitter. That must be all the coca. It tastes like so much like dark chocolate. Like 70-80% dark chocolate, because it has that bitter umami dark chocolate thing, which is very unconventional, I feel like, for an American barrel-aged beer. Because oftentimes they lean more into milk chocolate and all the fudgy stuff. But I really don't mind. But the CO2 level is frankly a bit too high for my taste. I'm just trying to beat some of it out of here. In these big stouts, they should definitely have CO2, but I don't think it needs to be like high. Just like a soft amount is good for me. Personal preference here. Personal preference. It's like this. Maybe it's a caramel that's fermented a bit in the bottle. Could be. Because I've had it for a few months, but it's been standing cool in a cellar. I don't have a fridge space for all my beers. It's really heavy on dark chocolate and caramel. Those are like the most dominant flavors. And then there's definitely a nice spirit warmth. But there's so much adjunct flavor that the barrel is like a backdrop a little bit to me. It's there. There's barrel heat. And I think there's like some fudgy caramel notes, but it's really hard to decipher if it's the barrel or it's because they added caramel. And the salinity is really nice. That addition of sea salt just brings a touch of like savoriness, umami, just balances the sweetness because it is a fairly sweet beer. It's so heavy dark chocolate, like really, really, really dark chocolate flavor. Like I love dark chocolate, bitter dark chocolate. But it's really weird trying a beer that tastes like this desserty pastry and then it's like this really bitter dark chocolate flavor. Because usually this is not the case with these kind of beers at all. Really, really nice. Really, really fucking good. But it's not where I'm like, whoa, mind blown, best pastry stout in the world. There's like, the integration is all right. I have a feeling that it might have been better if I drank it earlier. Because it's like everything just kind of flows in a homogeneous kind of adjunct thing. Like, the chocolate and caramel kind of stick out, but it's not like, it's not like it's like, one thing like, oh, you can taste that. Oh, you can taste that. Everything is definable, which could be because I've saved it for a bit. Because beers like this, you really don't want to age them. I used to drink them fresh, and I have a good amount of beers like this in the cellar that I should drink fresh. But this is fucking good. This is definitely a super stout. Let's say it like that. Cocoa nibs totally there, and the jet black cocoa powder, and it's this really dark umami thing. I think there's also a nuttiness, but if I drank this, I'd be hard pressed to say exactly peanuts, but there is like a fattiness of nuts and a nutty note to it. When I just popped it, I was thinking, oh shit, I want to be world class stoked on this. It's not too far away, but I'm not as stoked as I hoped I'd be. It's a 93 for me. It's still a fantastic barrel aged pastry stout. But personally, I would have liked just the barrel to shine a little bit more. That's the biggest thing. And that's usually the case with me with a lot of these barrel-aged pastry stouts. It's like the balance between barrel and adjuncts is hard. And I feel like you kind of almost have to do it this way. I think Darwin actually talked about this. Like, if you drink a pastry stout without barrels these days, it's like, it just gets a bit too cloying and a bit too sweet, especially with how they've evolved. And I feel the same way. Like, it's so rare that I buy a straight pastry stout. But when the barrel comes in, it just becomes such a wonderful treat because the barrel aging and the oxidation of flavors and everything brings such cool flavors and balance to the adjunct additions. So I truly think that's how that style shines. I used to be a big fan of pastry stouts when I was younger, a few years ago. I used to like them a lot when they were without a barrel, but the more I drink them, it's more like, it's a style where it kind of needs to be barrel aged to be really, really good because it can get really excessive. And what's up with the new melt stouts and cream stouts people are doing? It's like the evolution of smoothie and pastry and ice cream sours coming into the stout world. They're here. People in Europe are doing them. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have a funny story. In Aarhus, a local bar I'm good friends with, they were putting on one of these smoothie beers this weekend. And the keg was ready to pop. I'm not going to say the name of the brewery, but it was ready to pop. And they had to call in the fucking police to get rid of it because it was dangerous. So the police came with a fucking bomb squad to take away a craft beer keg that was under too high pressure. And they had to get a robot to pick it up and get it out and have it explode in this robot. Like a robot for disarming bombs. And then there's like a bell type thing that it can put on. And then it can do whatever it needs to be done. And then it explodes in the bell. So basically they had to pop a pimple smoothie sour in a fucking police robot. See, that shows that craft beer has gotten too excessive, right? Like, come on, man. I'm not making this up. I think it will be internet news all over the world on all the beer forums soon because it's just fucking absurd. Yeah, so those kind of beers, they will re-ferment unless you just add a shit ton of fucking preservatives to kill off anything. Then it's probably all right. I think even pasteurization would be hard because the consistency and all this. You have to pasteurize the shit out of it for it to be safe. Although I know some brewers pasteurize these kind of beers in cans and they actually manage to get away with cans not exploding. But it's hard. I mean, there's always room for like a single can or something being off and then poof, it happens. So yeah, it's crazy. It is a crazy world we live in terms of craft beer. But it seems like there's me included, a lot of people having a huge renaissance and appreciation for more normal things or things that are not as obscene, which is very interesting to follow. I see it more and more when we're out. Like people being more like, oh yeah, I love great pills, or oh man, I miss West Coast IPAs, or things like that. It's really fun to see. Although it's really great with innovation and all these cool fun stuff, craft beer should be fun. It's also fun to see like where people are starting to come back a little bit. So, but this is not too much. This is a nice pastry stout. This is something you should check out for sure. I just remember that on the top of my head. That's a crazy story. But yeah, check out The Truth Is But Perception from Everywhere. Really good. 93. Great barrel-aged pastry boy if you like these. So, if you guys already had this one, let me know what you thought of it. As always, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And then we'll say cheers. See you guys in the beer review, and thanks to Beer with the Beer. Link for the show is down below. Cheers.